Hello and welcome to SOUndbyte. I'm Chantel Munoz.
And I'm Elliot Anderson.
With the selling, closing, and renovation of businesses in our community, it is safe to say that the face of Ashland is changing. SOUndbyte reports on what some of these changes will mean for the plaza and surrounding area downtown. Where Alex's once was, it is no more. Alex's was the music and dance spot where Santa waved to the children. What will be here next? Just behind it, the Loft is doing a major renovation and doubling its patio, while underneath it, a new business is under construction. Go down a block, the once iconic Chateau Lynn is now open as a steak and fish restaurant. Another block or two, the Bolton Brothers Meat Shop is now a little lunchbox place. And Morning Glory, the wait in the lines around the block breakfast joint, well, it's also selling, meaning owner and current chef will be leaving her restaurant and recipes behind.
But if a chef's running things, I imagine their creative vision will stay alive. As far as I know, we come here for the food. I mean, it's good food, and if that's not going to change, I don't think it matters.
Ashland ebbs and flows with businesses over time, but will this much change hurt the village when it needs the tourist dollars the most? Most people are confident it won't. A new owner for Morning Glory shouldn't necessarily determine the success of the business because they already have a very strong foundation and they've made a great name for themselves. So it's definitely a place where tourists love to stop by and where all of the regulars of Ashland will always retreat back to. I'm Chantel Munoz reporting for SOUndbyte.
SOUndbyte also has an update on the new construction that closed off part of a major parking lot in Ashland and has led to orange cones over a busy downtown street. After months of construction, the new office building is nearing its conclusion. Located off Lithia Way and North 1st Street next to the Ashland Post Office, the new building will allow for more space for shops to open up in downtown Ashland. The names of any businesses planning to rent out spaces or how many there will be is currently not readily available to the public. Even with all the excitement, there is still some doubt about the need for more space.
I just don't really understand why we're building new buildings when so many businesses are already going out of business. It just doesn't really make sense to me.
The new complex is slated to open later this year with mainly department and goods service businesses, but is not planning to house any food vendors at this time.
Joining the list of changes to Ashland's business landscape is Callahan's Lodge and Restaurant, and after 18 years, the owners have decided to sell. Callahan's announced their decision to sell this last month. This 50-acre property has been around since 1947 and was purchased by current owners Ron and Donna Burquist in 1996. Owner Ron says that with the burning of Callahan's back in September of 2006, they only had 12 rooms. After the repairs, they increased the rooms to 19 and hope to expand to 33. Ron believes this will have a good impact on the ability to sell.
We could see what its potential was when we redesigned it, and we wanted it to meet its potential.
The Burquists would like to help the next owners in the continuing development of Callahan's. Donna and Ron are hopeful that the selling of popular businesses in the area will only unite the community more.
About a month ago, the store Love Revolution moved to their new location. SOUndbyte's Tim Williams has more on what this controversial move could mean.
Love Revolution originally had its start on Main Street, but was located in a basement off a nondescript hallway and down a flight of stairs, leaving many potential customers a bit wary to enter.
It was a little scary, I think, for some people because you couldn't see what was happening without committing to going in. And so, since we moved last month, it's been really nice because people can see that it's safe.
Now, still on Main Street but clearly labeled on the main walkway, the business has seen renewed interest. A purveyor of sensual books, intimate apparel, and sexual adult toys, the new location offers more space for events such as First Fridays and their own classes, with topics ranging from promoting awareness of sexual violence to maintaining a healthy relationship. Yet there have still been some challenges for the burgeoning store on its new move. From fearful landlords to general members of the public fearing that this more visible location is sending a message that does not coincide with what Ashland represents. Despite the hardships, the owners of Love Revolution are always willing to welcome those who would treat them with mistrust.
And there's still some people who think that sexuality is not healthy. So I don't know that they'll ever be fans of ours, but I would invite them to come in and see for themselves what they're judging.
For SOUndbyte, I'm Timothy Williams.
In April, the city of Ashland approved a temporary moratorium that prevented medical marijuana dispensaries in the downtown area, but they allowed Puff's Smoke Shop to continue their dispensary. On April 4th, marijuana dispensaries in Oregon were made illegal without a license from Oregon Health Advisory. Puff's owner Mike Welch was not familiar with this change, since he was originally approved to dispense medical marijuana through the Oregon House Bill 3460. Welch explains why he can't legally dispense medical marijuana at this current time.
The only reason we're temporarily closed right now is because the state changed an administrative rule. When we applied and did everything, knowing we were going to have to appeal, during the appeal process you could stay open. So we had no problem with doing that because you were generating revenue while you were gone.
OHA also will not allow a license to a dispensary if their location is within 1,000 feet from a school, which according to a survey, Puffs has met that requirement. Welch is waiting for his appeal to be approved, and he is hoping to open his dispensary as soon as possible.
SOUndbyte is hoping to clear some of the smoke and confusion surrounding the retrenchment plan that SOU will implement over the next few years, and how that plan will affect current and future students.
The final retrenchment plan for SOU makes big changes to the administration, but despite many rumors and worries, it will have minimal impact on the students.
I think the biggest thing is that students shouldn't look at retrenchment as being something that will affect them dramatically. It's something that clearly will end up producing issues for some, maybe more so than others, but they're typically just going to be in maybe not having quite as many offerings of a given course, or maybe just having a slight rearrangement of those courses within the degrees.
Dr. Greg Jones is the director for the newly formed Division of Business, Communication, and the Environment. It is one of 7 new divisions, which include the Center for the Arts, housing theater and fine arts as well as music, education and health, language and culture, and the STEM division, made up of the sciences, technology, engineering, and math. The new Undergraduate Studies division reorganizes the current USEM program.
So we're adjusting that so that it's, number one, more attractive to students, number two, fits their interests and also their skill levels, so that they can come in here and get a good experience.
There are 3 majors that have been cut due to the low enrollment and graduation numbers: physics, French, and art history. The current students in these majors will be taught out over the next 2 years and allowed to graduate. The retrenchment had one overarching goal and will save the university millions of dollars over the next several years.
The issue really comes down is you have to have the right size university for the students that you have, and I think that was the process here, is trying to right size the ship.
Dr. Jones assures SOUndbyte that all the faculty and staff are available to students to answer any questions they may have and to work with them to solve any issues that may arise from the reorganization. For SOUndbyte, I'm Elliot Anderson.
SOU's 2014 graduation is right around the corner. Southern Oregon University graduation will take place on June 14th. Students we spoke with are worried about the accumulated tuition debt they have generated over the past 4 to 5 years. Students' debt ranges from less than $20,000 to $80,000 or more for their entire college career. Despite this, students are both excited and nervous about graduation.
We never really knew the real world until we were in high school, where we were getting part-time jobs because we're starting to think about college, what we want to do with our life. But now that we're graduating college, we're being thrust into that real world situation.
SOU's graduation will take place at 9 a.m. at Raider Stadium. For more information, you can visit sou.edu/commencement.
Whether you are graduating this year or not, jobs are on most students' minds. And one thing that helps any prospective job seeker is experience. SOUndbyte's Mark Wells found out about some local internships open right now for applicants.
Located on the south end of Ashland is a company known to residents as Pacific Domes. Pacific Domes builds the geodesic domes that go out to many events all over the world.
Pacific Domes is located in Ashland, Oregon, and we work with companies all over the world. We are the original manufacturer and distributor of geodesic domes. We are looking for college students who need experience in real-world environment, in an office, in marketing, and also in our sales department.
We started in 1980, inspired by Buckminster Fuller. He won an award for the strongest structure known to man. He developed the mathematics behind the geodesic dome. We use that mathematics to make all of our products because it's based on this geometry of nature, and we feel that that's the most important factor in what we do.
The domes can be used for a variety of different applications. We've been using them for events, so like corporate America, we're talking Coca-Cola, Google, and pretty much just a bunch of companies around the world that use our domes.
Students who are looking for internships should contact pacificdomes.com directly. This is Mark Wells with SOUndbyte.
Coming up, we have an in-studio interview with the new director of the new Center of the Arts here at SOU.
And several local events are starting up this week. We'll have all the details coming up after the break.
When you smoke, your baby smokes.
Welcome back. I'm Chantel Munoz.
And I'm Elliot Anderson. Part of the retrenchment changes here at the center, at SOU is a new Center for the Arts. Our very own Robin Fichter sat down with David Humphreys, the director of this new center, to get more information about the new opportunity for the arts lovers.
Hi, this is Robin Fichter, and today we are with Dr. David Humphrey, who is the director of the Center for the Arts. Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Thrilled to be here.
Yeah, me too. So, Center for the Arts, big question mark. What is this, and what can you tell students about how it affects their lives here at SOU?
Well, the Center for the Arts is a bringing together of the performing arts and the visual arts and the digital arts and creative writing into one division within the university. It's very exciting from the standpoint that we're able to bring all of the creative arts together to be able to work together, to collaborate, and to offer students opportunities to be able to take courses in the arts that they should. So we are pleased that in the reorganization of the university, we were allowed to bring together all the arts under one umbrella.
And that is the umbrella of the Center for the Arts.
That's the Center for the Arts, yes.
And we were talking earlier that you have a North Star to follow. You have a goal somewhere down the line. Can you elaborate a little bit about what that goal is?
Well, the guiding star is the direction that we want to go in, and that is to creating a center that nurtures and enriches and educates, trains, celebrates, and honors Oregon artists. And students who come to Southern Oregon University are considered Oregon artists. So it is part of what we're trying to do, is provide them that opportunity to be able to work and study in the arts.
And you really want this to be a flagship, to give them a real reason to come to Southern Oregon and to this university.
Oh, absolutely. It will become the Oregon Center for the Arts because we will be working not only with our students who come here to study, but with our arts partners like the Oregon Shakespeare Festival and the Rogue Valley Symphony and many others, as well as arts organizations throughout the state of Oregon. This only provides opportunities for students to have internships and work with other professional or nonprofit organizations in the arts.
Mm-hmm. And you have a long-term goal of about when? When do you hope to achieve this goal? When will you know that we're kind of in that place?
And what year is it right now?
Yeah.
The long-term goal is I would say it's in phases. So 5 years, I think that we will have it all together and operating, and then beyond that is to expand. And how we expand, that will have to be determined a few years from now.
And what can current students look forward to in terms of what are some of the immediate changes that we might be able to see?
Well, what we're doing is we're creating curriculum committees of faculty within the Center for the Arts that's cross-discipline to look at programs and look at courses. So how can students be able to have electives to be able to take courses in other areas? Again, the opportunity is to take courses in other areas to be able to broaden your students' work and learning and be able to be as versatile as they can be when they graduate from here.
Mm-hmm. And how can we track the progress, or how can we keep in tune with what's happening with the Center of the Arts?
Right. Well, I think faculty members are a good source. They will inform students of what's going on. We're putting together a student advisory committee to help us understand from the student viewpoint of what needs to happen and what are the issues that students face. And we're also putting together an advisory committee from statewide of artists and leaders throughout the state to help us to look at bigger issues as well.
And if someone's interested in serving on your advisory committee or wants to get in touch with you, specific comments or ideas, how do they reach you?
Yeah. Well, we definitely want students to be on the advisory committee and encourage students who have interest in this, not only from the standpoint of putting input, but also understanding how you manage a center like this. And they can reach me by my email address, which is humpred, H-U-M-P-H-R-E-D @SOU.edu. And or come by my office, which is right now in the music building, off the lobby.
Okay, great. A lot to look forward to with the Oregon Center for the Arts, which is being known as the Center for the Arts at this time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
As a result of a large financial donation recently, the Oregon Shakespeare Festival has installed a new state-of-the-art Meyer sound system in the Allen Elizabethan Theater. The new system, which includes new microphones, speakers, and sound control, will make its debut next weekend.
There's approximately 48 speakers located throughout the theater that will help reinforce the actor's voice, as well as any pre-recorded music or sound effects, and any live music is also played back through the system.
You know, the idea is with the zones of the theater, you know, we have speakers that are specifically focused to these separate zones so that everyone's getting the same. It's a very even and evenly distributed sound that comes from the stage area. So the idea is that it sounds very natural. It sounds like it's coming from the people and the orchestra rather than a couple of speakers that are hung over your head.
OSF patrons will have an opportunity to experience the new sound system for themselves when the Tony Award-winning musical Into the Woods takes stage on June 15th. The OSF outdoor season continues through October, and tickets can be purchased through the OSF website at www.osfashland.org.
A full week of fun is on tap once again as the streets of downtown Medford host Medford Beer Week. The events begin this Friday, the 6th, with a kickoff party at Walkabout Brewing starting at 5. Dozens of local breweries, bars, and event spaces will host events throughout the week, culminating in the Southern Oregon Craft Brew Festival on Saturday the 14th in Old Town Medford. This year, there are many new venues joining annual favorites, and there's sure to be fun to be had by all attendees over the age of 21. For more information, visit medfordbeerweek.com. The Jeffersonian News magazine is near completion with its third episode, Take 3. The news magazine will be aired on Southern Oregon Public Television this summer. The Jeffersonian has been very rewarding for the SOU students, according to those that have been involved. This news magazine allows great resume building opportunities for students by having them generate a professional piece to show on public television. One of their goals is to attract a younger demographic audience to the rich information about the state of Jefferson. Students who have been engaged in this new news magazine have high expectations as to where they see this news magazine in the future.
It's a class that really transcends beyond the four walls of a classroom, and I mean, it's seen by the public, which is a great opportunity for students.
Each year, the Jeffersonian generates new themes and involves a new group of students, bringing a set of fresh eyes to the subjects. The third episode of the Jeffersonian is expected to air on SOP TV this summer of 2014.
And we'll be right back with a look at sports.
And we take a look at a local radio station taking hits on the air.
Over the past 100 years, films have been made here in Southern Oregon and the Northern California area. Independent and feature films have taken advantage of this beautiful location. Welcome back. I'm Chantel Munoz.
And I'm Elliot Anderson. We now head to Kristen Shanehair for a look at sports.
SOU spring sports have come and gone. Several track athletes managed to bring home the national title. Chloe Welch has the inside scoop.
Track and field had a successful weekend at the NAIA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Eric Avila, a native from Northern California, had what was said to be the best year any runner has had in Raider history. Avila won the 1,500-meter title with a time of 3 minutes, 48 seconds, and 93 milliseconds. He delivered his first men's title in a running event since 1978.
It was like icing on the cake to get the win after last year. I got second by about 0.2 of a second, and I was able to win and beat the guy that beat me last year. So it was a pretty big high.
With a total of 26 points, the SOU men's team finished 9th in the team standing. Following up on Amelia McGuinn, the junior from Nevada, was unfortunately unable to seize the title. In a repeat of 2013 women's 400-meter finals, McGuinn placed second. Although she did not cross the finish line first, she was able to beat her own school record for the third straight meet. 59 seconds, 19 milliseconds was her finishing time. The Raider women had a total of 19 points to finish 14th in the team standings. This is Chloe Welch reporting for SOUndbyte.
Track and field had a successful season with a total of 6 athletes placing at the championships. Now jumping into softball, the university's team did better than expected. However, they will unfortunately be losing a valuable member of their family.
SIU's softball coach Kim Fritz has decided to resign after 8 years coaching the Raiders. This past season, she helped lead the Raiders to a 15-23 record and made the Cascade Conference playoffs. Fritz finished her time at SOU with 127 out of 158 overall marks. She helped achieve 3 playoff berths. Athletic Director Matt Sayre has stated that Kim is a true professional and was a valued member of our athletic staff. SOU catcher Julia Willison had great personal success to enter her senior year.
You know, when you come here, that's like you step onto the field, you work hard every day, you know, we give 100%, we put in the hours, and now it's reward time. It's time to enjoy the moment and go big.
She ended the season with a .598 on-base percentage. She was also named to the All-Cascade Conference softball team.
Julia finished the season with 3 home runs, 12 doubles, and 23 RBIs. The coaching position is now posted online, so applicants feel free to apply. I'm Kristen Shanehair reporting for SOUndbyte Sports.
There are several radio stations here in the state of Oregon, but there is one local radio station here in the city of Ashland that has begun to expand and reach out to a more robust audience. SOUndbyte's Rory Owens has the story.
The local radio station 89.5 KSKQ has been entertaining the city of Ashland for roughly 8 to 10 years. KSKQ plays a variety of music such as rock, blues, Americana, world, and jazz, and also represents many voices in the Rogue Valley by allowing local DJs to come in and express themselves on talk radio. I spoke with Keith Manser and Lori Duckworth about a show that they host which focuses on cannabis called Rogue Cannabis Radio.
We started a show that really rereads a lot of news from the area in Oregon and around the nation, and to really tries to educate people about what's going on in the medical marijuana community, the marijuana movement, and cannabis as a whole, including hemp and other things.
Before the beginning of the year, KSKQ has been a low-power radio station that only produced 18 watts of power. But in January, they were able to purchase a directional antenna, which increased their range to 90 watts. I spoke with Ellen Huff, the station manager of KSKQ, about the increase of wattage that they can now reach.
In April, we were able to jump to 580 and then received the final permission from the FCC, and we're at 560 watts as of May 3rd.
With the approval of the FCC to run at 560 watts, KSKQ can now reach a larger audience, which allows the station to educate, entertain, and advertise at a higher level. This is Rory Owens reporting for SOUndbyte.
And that's all for our broadcast. Thank you for joining us here tonight at SOUndbyte. I'm Chantel Munoz.
And I'm Elliot Anderson. Good night.